from Slovenia is the referee, with Nate Kastazove in charge of VAR. And we are going to get things underway on the referee's whistle. The competition for both of these sides in Euro 2024 is just seconds from getting underway. And a fake kickoff just delayed things for a moment. Switzerland in all red on the right to left as I'm looking at it. Hungary left to right in all white, getting things underway for us. And the long ball out onto their right hand side is just watched out of play, and it's going to be a throw in to start things off for Ndoye. Quick 1-2 thrown with Freuler. Long ball punted up in towards the middle of the field, brought down well by Due, intercepted though by Orban. His ball forward down onto the right hand side again, is chased down this time by Salai, but it's eventually cleared by Rodriguez. Looking down the line, Xhaka goes up for the header this time in the middle of the field, wins it on the second attempt. It's only as far as Schaefer though, and there's a shoulder barge in the middle of the field, and the referee's given a free kick to Hungary just inside Switzerland's half to get things underway for us. And Orban goes across to take it. He's making his way into the box is Lang. Orban's now left the free kick alone as Szoboszlai goes back to the halfway line to take this. A very high line being played by Switzerland. They're a good 15 yards outside of their area. You'd expect that, but with the amount of players put forward, you'd assume this is going to be a ball into the box from Hungary, from Dominik Szoboszlai on the referee's whistle. Quickly taken as a short free kick instead from an overlapping run. Szoboszlai chips this over towards the back post. It's been headed goalwards, brought down, but it's gone all the way through to Jan Sommer, who will just calm things down for Switzerland, allow players to regroup and reposition. As Zalai tried to put the ball across the face of goal, but wasn't able to do anything with it. Quick ball forward this time. Makes its way into the area. This time with Ibisha. And his effort goes just over, and it's going to be a goal kick now to Hungary. Down on the left-hand side. Good pressure put in by Due to win the ball back up against Lang. But as his cross went in, it only got to the edge of the area. I think the flag would ultimately have gone up in the end anyway. But Ibisha managed to get his shot away and should probably have done better with it. As the goal kick's taken out short onto the right-hand side now with Lang. He's closed down quickly, wins his side of throw-in, deep inside their own half. The pressure came in from Vargas, just in front of the dugouts on this right-hand side. Lang searching down the line for any options he's got. He's got Fiola further down. Instead, opts to go in towards the middle of the park with a pass to Nagy. Lang gets the ball back, again down the line, headed away this time on the left-hand side, but the referee's given it as a throw-in to Switzerland, says it came off Fiola last. Now it's a throw-in on the left-hand side, and Ndoye's going to come across to take. Having Rodriguez play as a centre-half with the experience of a left-back allows Switzerland to maybe move into a back four if they choose to do so when out of possession. Add extra players to the defensive setup as Rodriguez gets the ball by the touchline on the left-hand side now. Goes back to Akanji. Plenty of space inside his own half. Overlooks the pass this time to Rodriguez. Finds on the left-hand side Vargas. His pass has gone wayward though, and it's intercepted by Lang. His cross goes in. Takes an extra touch, and Akanji has to get there first. Wins his side a throw-in. Much to the surprise this time of Varga, who was going in for the 50-50 challenge with Akanji. Thought that his side deserved a throw-in out of it, but just in line with the area on the left-hand side. Ibisha comes across to take the throw-in for Switzerland. Again searches down the line, up towards Due, but headed away by Nagy. Back into a dangerous position, but Akanji's on hand to win it back for Switzerland again. His ball forward this time goes to Due. Due brings it inside, onto the right-hand side. The extra run that was being made by Vidmer. He found himself offside, but still an excellent run here down the right-hand side. Looks for Vidmer in the middle. Vidmer tries to get there first, but Hungary will clear the lines defensively and goes down under a very dangerous challenge this time. We'll have our first free kick and a first yellow card. And it will go against Vidmer. Sylvan Vidmer, who I think was trying to make up for the fact that he was very slow to get to the loose ball inside Hungary's half. The cross came in on that right-hand side. It was excellent work by Kwadwo Due to get the ball into that dangerous position in the first place. But as Kirkes was making his way out from the back, the yellow card has been given, and it's no nonsense straight away from Slavko Vincic, who stamps his authority on the game straight away as Kirkes was moving more central with the ball. It was a very late challenge and quite clumsy from Vidmer. There was plenty of midfield players for Switzerland. Didn't quite need to go in with such a rash challenge, especially 4.5 minutes into the game. But it is going to be a free kick now from just outside their area for Hungary. And Sylvan Vidmer out on the right wing-back position for Switzerland. Will have to take things steady. Orban goes across to take the free kick. He's taking his time with it, forced to go back to Galaxy due to the channels being cut out by Switzerland quite well. Galaxy's under pressure and plays the ball onto the left hand side for Kirkes. Goes all the way back to Salai, just outside of the area at the moment. Into the 6-yard box for Galaxy. Galaxy takes a couple of touches just as the Switzerland supporters are cheering just behind his goal, just to try and distract him ever so slightly. The pass into the middle now goes to Xhaka. Xhaka looks for an outlet, across this time to Ricardo Rodriguez. Dribbles the ball good 15 yards deep into Hungary territory. Passes on to the left hand side for Ndoye. Goes all the way back now to Akanji inside the centre circle. Takes it back into Hungary's half. Switches again onto the left hand side. Ricardo Rodriguez now playing more as a left back positioning whilst Switzerland are in the ascendancy. Passes it to Vargas. Goes back to Akanji, but Akanji's let it run all the way through to Sommer. It's quite far out of his area. Gives it back to Akanji again just outside of the centre circle, inside his own half. Akanji takes it into the centre circle. Now it's onto the right hand side for Fabian Schär. Got Widmer alongside him as an option again. As Schär opts to go for the long ball towards the back post, and it's just watched out of play this time for a throw-in for Hungary. Lang went up for the challenge with Vargas. Neither could gain anything from it. It'll be Lang to take the throw-in. Deep inside his own half. Equal with the goalkeeper's area. Quite far has Fiola gone down the line hoping for this throw-in. I'm not quite sure if Lang's going to be able to get it that far, but he's not got many other options in support. This time overlooks Viola. It's all the way through and it's been put out of play by Frula. Out of play for a throw-in. Around the halfway line now for Hungary. They've made a good distance on that first throw-in. Lang again comes forward to take it. Schaefer and Nagy in the middle. Again, opting for Schaefer down the line. Headed away this time by Akanji. Hoping for a free kick because he felt that his shirt was being held, but he's not got one, and Hungary have a chance now on the left hand side. It's with Kirkes just outside of the area. He's been closed down by Widmer. Kirkes gets a cross in. It's been cleared at the first chance by Fabian Schär up towards the halfway line. Headed down again this time by Orban. Sly will just keep this in play, and all he's managed to do is knock it 5 yards further towards his own goal and puts it out of play for a Switzerland throw in inside his own half. Not much urgency at the moment for Switzerland. Could have maybe gains a good opportunity with how Hungary was slow defensively at that point. Instead the pass goes across this time from the throw from Widmer. Gives it to Schär, goes across to Akanji, now back to Schär and to Sommer just inside the area. Sommer now across to Fabian Schär again just outside the area on the right hand side. Closed down well this time by Soboslai, and it's out of play for a throw in on the right hand side for Switzerland. And Fabian Schär doesn't look too happy with leaving this throw-in for Widmer. He was ready for taking it quickly, but Widmer was quite quick back to take the throw-in away from him. Then looking for options down the line. Goes short this time. Quick 1-2 with Xhaka. Punted further forward this time for Dua. Headed away by Orban. Still inside Switzerland's half at the moment. Brought down nicely and comfortably this time by Vargas. Goes back to Widmer. And now Fabian Schär across to Akanji just outside the goalkeeper's area. Switzerland with the ball inside their own half. Now Ricardo Rodriguez has space to move into Hungary's half on the left hand side. His ball forwards blocked out of play, and then Lang with the clearance takes a deflection off of Vargas and goes out of play for another Hungary throw in. I think as the pass came in from Rodriguez, it might have had quite a bit of pace on it. That the first touch from Vargas, the ball just got away from him, and then the challenge went in from Lang, and he's done well to win his side of throwing from just in front of the dugout on the right hand side. His throwing goes to Nagy. He gets the ball back quickly. His clearance is blocked by Vargas. Second clearance is headed more central this time, and Akanji's there to deal with the issue. Another free kick wanted this time. Soboslai's gone down under the challenge by Abischer, and the referee's given nothing for it, and now there's a chance for Switzerland to break. Pass now to Xhaka. Inside Switzerland's half at the moment. Takes it into Hungary's half. Across to Akanji. Akanji's pass inside. Finds Freuler. Now Abischer. Dispossessed, and a chance now to break on the right hand side for Hungary, and an excellent run being made by Fiola. Fiola's in space just outside of the area, plays it more central on the edge of the area. The effort's gone just over from Salai, and a good break from Hungary, just waiting for Switzerland to find themselves in a very difficult position possession wise, as they counted quite a few players forward. They pushed Akanji into a dangerous position where if it's going to work for you, it's really going to count, but also leaves you a player down at the back and opens you up to these kind of counter-attacks. And that's exactly what's happened on this occasion for Hungary. Not quite get anything from it though, as the effort from Salai goes over, and it's a short goal kick taken by Sommer. Gets the ball back from Akanji, under pressure, goes upfield again towards Dua, headed away by Orban, brought down by Soboslai, onto the left hand side for Kirkez. Now across to Salai again. Salai goes back to his goalkeeper, and Galaxy gets the ball just outside of his area. No Switzerland players close to him, allows him to play it out to Lang on the right hand side, dribbles this inside as he's closed down by Vargas. Goes back to Orban again. Now across to Salai. Salai now back to Galaxy. Just inside his area, can't pick the ball up. Takes it outside as he's closed down by Dua. Searches the ball onto the left hand side. Header won by Kirkez though, but it's dispossessed as Ricardo Rodriguez gets it back. Now inside the centre circle, gives the ball to Xhaka and gets himself back in position. Xhaka's not closed down, but there's three players in Hungary's attack that are looking for that chance on any loose ball. As Akanji now takes the ball closer towards the halfway line, out left now to Ricardo Rodriguez. Pass back inside to Granit Xhaka and across to Rodriguez again. Rodriguez back to Xhaka. Switzerland actually losing ground and moving closer towards their own goal at the moment as Akanji gets the ball. Finds Rodriguez on that left hand side again. He's finding himself in plenty of space. It's allowing him to take the ball a good 5-10 yards before he's closed down by any Switzerland players. It's past this time from Akanji. Gets the ball back inside Hungary's half. Akanji looking onto the right hand side, was waiting for the ball there to Vidmer, but Vidmer was very slow to make the run. Nearly caught Switzerland in possession. Now Akanji onto the right hand side for Shah. His pass forwards brought down by Abisha. Now for Vidmer. Vidmer brings it back. Pass back inside for Xhaka. Goes now to Akanji. Akanji's taken the ball quite far forward. Next time for Xhaka, it's a through ball. Dua's found his way through and he's put it into the goal. And now the whistle's gone almost immediately as soon as the ball's been put into the back of the net. For offside against Dua. He made his run ever so slightly too early. And that's what Switzerland can do. They're holding on to possession very well in the opposition third. In the final third, that ball through Akanji, found in space at that point Abisha. And actually, I think he's onside. If VAR are going to have an intervention in this, I think Switzerland are going to have a 1-0 lead. I think that's a bad decision from the linesman, and I think we're now having the VAR check take place. And I'm not quite sure what the outcome's going to be, but to me it looks like there's a trailing leg from Zalai on the left-hand side that's actually keeping Dua on side. I think this is going to be a goal to Switzerland. The referee's just hearing from Nate Kashtave, who's in charge of VAR for us today, but that's well-worked goal from Switzerland, and it deserves to be a goal, and I think there's maybe even Lang keeping him onside as well. We've got the VAR signal. It's a goal for Switzerland, unsurprisingly, and now Dua will be allowed to celebrate. It's wonderfully worked from Switzerland. Hungary have had a couple of counter-attacks themselves, but they've allowed Switzerland to play about with possession. The pass in the end that went through to Abisha found an excellently placed and weighted ball through for Dua, who beat his man. Orban, I think, was just watching it all the way through to his goalkeeper, and Dua's got there just before Galaxy and comfortably placed the ball past him. It's Hungary 0, Switzerland 1 after 13 minutes. And he actually caught Galaxy wrong-footed as he placed that past the goalkeeper. It's a delayed celebration, but it's a celebration nonetheless. It's Hungary 0, Switzerland 1, and Hungary will get things back underway for us. On the referee's whistle, it'll be Varga that gets things underway this time. Passes the ball back to Schaefer, out onto the right-hand side for Lang. And goes back to Orban. Watches this all the way through to his goalkeeper, who switches it onto the left-hand side. Headed back central. It seems a bit nervy from Hungary at the moment in possession, as Akanji goes up and wins the header alongside Varga this time. Free kick's been given in favour of Switzerland inside the centre circle in their own half. Just going to have a minute to wait while Salai's down on the second attempt of winning the header. He's not the only player down on the floor at the moment. Ricardo Rodriguez is as well. Strength in the air from Manuel Akanji, and then Rodriguez, who's received a bit of a nudge in the back whilst going up for his challenge. Landed funny on his wrist. Hopefully nothing too serious for either of these players, who look to have Landed quite awkwardly, but we will have a break in play, and it's a chance for the players to grab the water bottles as we just look at a replay more in detail of the VAR decision to give the goal, and it is actually Lang that's kept him onside. Adam Lang on the right hand side with a trailing foot that's kept Dua onside. And the decision's been given on the back there. It's a well timed run, but there's two players that have kept him onside, and it's quite comfortably onside as well, so I'm not quite sure the linesman's decision. Maybe couldn't quite see it from that angle. He's waited until the goal's been scored before putting the flag up, and then it's allowed VAR to have the intervention and overrule the linesman. We'll have a free kick to Switzerland just inside their own half to get things back underway for us. It doesn't look too serious for Rodriguez or for Salai. Both look like they're going to be able to carry on with the game as Akanji passes this short, gets the ball back inside the centre circle again. Looks again for Abisha. First touch pass goes forward to Dura again, holds it up well, looks onto the right hand side for Vidma, but it's intercepted well by Kirkez. Quick 1-2, Kirkez's ball down the line, he's going to go all the way through for Akanji, who's outside of his own area but can control the ball comfortably. Plays it short to Xhaka, who spreads the ball onto the left hand side for Rodriguez, just outside the area again, and Rodriguez has plenty of space to move into. Salai for Hungary is on the sideline, receiving some tape on his wrist at the moment. Hungary for the moment are down to 10 players. Ball forward to be chased through onto the left hand side, put out of play by Adam Lang, and we are going to have our first corner of the afternoon. It's in favour of Switzerland. Out on the left hand side, Ricardo Rodriguez is going to take this. It's going to be an outswinging corner. We'll just wait for Akanji and Fabian Schär to make their way into the box. Fabian Schär, of course, a big threat from set pieces. He has been for Newcastle throughout the course of this season. Big height advantage for him, and Manuel Akanji, we know, is quite clinical in the area as well. He has proven that for Manchester City since he signed for Pep Guardiola's side. Outswinging corner on its way from Ricardo Rodriguez. Goes in towards the near post, headed away by the first player, Nagy, and it's watched out of play for a throw-in on the left-hand side now for Rodriguez, as Nagy is calling for Hungary's defence to make the way out from the back, try and force Switzerland further in towards their own half, as Rodriguez is looking for short options. Got Vargas and Ndoye alongside him. Dua did come short, but he's made his way into the area now. Pass to Rodriguez, brought down by Xhaka. Now goes back towards his own half with Abisha. Goes under pressure but can hold on to possession. Pass inside to Akanji, who's got plenty of space to move into. Takes it up towards the halfway line. Pass across to Fabian Schär. Now into Hungary's half. And Switzerland just controlling possession, making the ball do the work for them at the moment. Pass inside to Xhaka again. Onto the right hand side for Vidma. Excellent play and build up at the moment as Dua's gone short for the ball. Loses out on possession from a challenge from Kirkez, and a free kick has been given this time to Hungary. Kirkez again being fouled just outside of the area. 18 minutes gone if you are late joining us from the Rain Energy Stadion in Cologne. It's Hungary 0, Switzerland 1, with coverage of Euro 2024 and the Copa America here on Flash Score. Thank you very much for choosing us for your commentary for Euro 2024. Hungary 0, Switzerland 1. It's Hungary now in possession just outside their own area. Nagy gets the ball. Pass on to the left hand side for Schäfer. Schäfer makes his way into Switzerland's half. On the left hand side, Kirkez is alongside him still. Been closed down, but he's managed to get the ball in deep into Switzerland territory before having to pass the ball. Now the pass is back to Schäfer. Onto the left hand side for Kirkez. Cross goes into the box. It's gone all the way towards the back post, but Sommer is out quickly to collect the ball. Passes it out now to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka's got space to move into. Pass onto the left hand side. Switched over onto the right now with Vargas. Vargas gives it to Vidma, and Switzerland just get themselves back into comfortable territory inside Hungary's half and just hold on to possession again. Just slowing things down. Now onto the left hand side for Ricardo Rodriguez. And across onto the left hand side for Abisha. Now inside for Vargas again. Cross to Akanji at the halfway line. Akanji's pass to Xhaka. Heavy pass goes past Akanji, but there's no Hungary players in that area, and Akanji is able to recollect the ball, make his way back up towards the halfway line. He's got Schär on his right hand side. He's looking for a long pass forward. Instead plays it inside this time to Abisher. Abisher finds himself in more space, switched onto the right hand side, but Kerkez is there. Kerkez passes into a very dangerous position. A chance here for a second one for Hungary to defend, and Vargas, who had the chance, Galaxy just gets his arm to it and pushes it wide. It was a bad pass from Kerkez, put his defence under a lot more trouble. Passes it too heavy past Orban, and making his way through is a very alert Vargas, and it's well saved by Galaxy. Stays up this time. The first goal, he went down to ground maybe a bit too early, stayed on his feet. As it caught his shoulder, it's gone out of play for a corner for Switzerland. We will have a second corner. It's on the left hand side, and Ricardo Rodriguez goes across to take it again. I think Vargas is actually going to move him off this one. They're going to try an in-swinging corner. They are. Rodriguez is dropping onto the edge of the area. He's taken a Hungary player alongside him, which opens up a couple of options in the box as well. In-swinging corner on its way from Vargas. He's been told to wait just before taking it, as the referee Slavko Vincic makes his way into the area to have a word with Akanji and with Orban. Bit of a tussle going on just outside the 6-yard box. Referee just making sure there is no nonsense. Of course, a bit of extra authority placed on this game, knowing that only the captains are able to talk during disputes with the referee. But now he's having a conversation with Dua, who is inside the 6-yard box. There's another battle going on. He's having a battle with Salai. In-swinging corner on its way. One option short for him. Cross goes in towards the back post. Big punch away from Galaxy. Chased down on the right-hand side by Freuler. Closed down by Nagy. Over by the corner flag. Pass inside to Akanji inside the area. He's got to hold the play up. He doesn't have many options in support. He's forced to go to Vidmer on the edge of the area. Puts it onto his left foot. Has to go back towards his own goal, but that's a well-placed pass in the end. It's been Erbescher that's had the effort. It's been blocked well, and Kerkez will try and clear his lines again, but the challenge goes in from Vidmer, and it's a throw-in for Hungary on the left-hand side. They're very much up against it at the moment, Hungary. They're a side that are struggling to get out of their own half. Zalai is back on the field as well, so they're back to 11 players, but the high press from Switzerland is causing all sorts of errors in Hungary's defence. It's led to one goal already, and a good chance that just went begging for Vargas a moment ago. Going down the line from Kerkez, he gets the ball back. Searching ball forward for Varga this time. Headed on, but Akanji's first to it. Now Ricardo Rodriguez gets the ball back in the middle of the park, gives it to Abisher. Abisher out onto the right-hand side, in plenty of space at the moment is Vidmer. Vidmer just holds things up, slows things down, allows players to push forward again, as now Granit Xhaka gets the ball. Passes it back to Vidmer. Now to Fabian Schär. Akanji is one over to his left in space. Looking for the gaps in the channel to try and pass the ball further forward. Manages to get the ball through this time for Vargas. Onto the left-hand side for Ricardo Rodriguez. Overlapping run on the left-hand side by Abisher. Opens up the chance of a cross. Instead lays this ball to Vargas. Equal with the goalkeeper's area on the left-hand side. Pass inside to Xhaka. Back to Vargas again. Goes back 5 yards. Abisher forced to go all the way back to Akanji. And around the halfway line. Akanji passes it to Xhaka. He now goes all the way back to Jan Sommer, who's had to come about 10 yards out of his area to get the ball. Back to Xhaka on the left-hand side. Now to Akanji. Back to Xhaka again. Inside the area it goes back to Sommer. And Switzerland holding on to possession, not allowing Hungary to get close to the ball at all. Even though they are trying to cut out any of these channels and the passes. Sommer gets the ball back inside the area. Quick pass there to Fabian Schär. He gets the ball back quickly again because Szoboszlai is in that area. Taking the ball outside of the area now is Sommer. Looking for short options. Szoboszlai closes him down. He just gets that away quickly enough. Goes towards Dua. Headed away this time by Lang. Headed back towards Lang on the right-hand side. But it's out of play this time for a throw-in. But Fiola's going to move further down the line for. Just a quick word from Schaefer towards the referee. Feels that maybe there should have been a free kick just a few moments ago to Hungary. But it wasn't given. Lang takes the throw-in from in front of the Switzerland dugout. Looking for any options down the line, but Switzerland are blocking off any sort of passing route. Managed to get it all the way through, but Akanji's handled that very well. Clears his lines from just outside the area. Dua's headed this on. It's closed down by Vargas. Line has been cleared by Orban, though, and headed away this time by Schär. Headed onto the left-hand side by Salai. Brings this down. Now gives it to Kerkez. Kerkez holds on to possession, goes all the way back to Orban inside the centre circle. Orban switches it onto the left-hand side, headed down by Szoboszlai. He's had a job keeping that in play. It was too heavy of a pass from Orban. And it's left Hungary under a lot of pressure again, because this time they've forced to switch the ball onto the right-hand side for Fiola. But on hand to get it is Granit Xhaka, gives it to Rodriguez. Rodriguez turns on the ball and back to Xhaka just outside the area. Switches it onto the right-hand side, in space is Fabian Sharp. Closed down by Soboslai. His pass over is very weak, but still with possession on Switzerland's side of things, on the right-hand side with Widmer. And now Sharp plays a long ball onto the left-hand side, but it's gone all the way through to Galaxy, who just calms things down for Hungary. Rolls things out slightly. Quickly to Orban now. Tried to create some sort of urgency after slowing things down. It seems quite contradictory for Hungary at the moment. Some players trying to get the ball moving and quickly into Switzerland's half. The rest just happy to take their time with the ball. Because goal difference doesn't matter as a first difference in the group stages. Doesn't take into account who's got the better goal difference first of all. It goes on head to head, which means this game could be all the more important when it goes on who's expected to concede fewer against Germany and score more against Scotland to take second place in this group. Rodriguez gets the ball just outside the area. Heavy touch, but he gets there first again. Nagy was just holding off, putting a challenge in. Passes it onto the left-hand side now for Freuler. Freuler's pass forward to Vargas. Now left to Aebischer again. Now to Freuler and Aebischer. Aebischer seems to move and swap sides with Vargas. It's keeping Hungary defence on the toes. As Akanji passes it out to Ricardo Rodriguez. Pass inside this time. Lovely worked football. Vargas down the line. Wonderful challenge from Lang. Switzerland want a free kick. It's kept in play though on the right hand side by Fiola. And Switzerland get the ball back quickly. And now they'll get a free kick just inside Hungary's half. We might see a second yellow card of the afternoon as Schaefer goes in for a very late challenge on Aebischer, who is back to his feet. He's going back towards his own goal as the challenge comes in. He tried to wrap his foot around the leg of the Switzerland winger and get to the ball, but he couldn't quite do so. Catches too much of the player. It's just kept in play on the right hand side originally by Lang when the free kick was first wanted by Switzerland, but it was given on the second challenge. And they're able to take this free kick from just inside their own half as Ricardo Rodriguez is stood over it. Passes it short to Akanji. Goes back to Rodriguez, but the ball's been put out of play for a throw-in. But I think we might actually see the free kick being retaken and the request and a change of ball. We are actually going to have a change of ball, saying the one that was about to be used for the free kick wasn't suitable enough. But the referee said instead of a free kick, just take the throw-in on the right-hand side. It's thrown straight back to Akanji and play will resume. As Akanji goes back to Sommer, just outside his area, Akanji gets the ball back, not closed down by anybody, got a bit of space to move into, instead goes back to Sommer again. Sommer inside the area. Passes it short, this time to Aebischer. And ball forward in search of Vargas, intercepted well by Salai. Salai's long ball forward is a player that's gone down under the challenge. Referee quick to wave that away as Salai was making the run through. The referee opted not to give a free kick on that occasion, say it was just an incident of coming together as Akanji's through ball this time is going to be chased down, but Vargas can't quite get there quickly enough and Lang gets there first. He switched it over to Kirkes on the left hand side, who's under pressure from Widmer. His ball down the line is all the way through to another Switzerland player, and just too cheaply Hungary are giving the ball back to Switzerland as the ball is brought down just outside the area now. It's a great run, effort's been blocked, wanting handball, nothing's given. On to the right hand side now for Fiola with Hungary, a chance to break, but again the pass down the line is given away too cheaply and intercepted by Aebischer. Now to Xhaka. Seems quite panicked at the back at the moment for Hungary. The pressure that Switzerland are putting them under is trying to force Hungary into some sort of defensive error. And whenever they're in possession, they're just finding it too rushed, trying to force the ball out into areas where there are no players for Hungary. And it's allowing Switzerland to get the ball back all too easily. And they're not giving the ball back too cheaply at all, as Akanji gets the ball inside his own half. Akanji's pass forward, brought down by Dua. Intercepted now by Nagy. onto the right-hand side. Nagy dribbles past multiple players, pass forward, spread out onto the right-hand side. It's going to be chased down now by Soleil. He gets it at the same time as Xhaka wants a throw-in for it, and he's going to get a throw-in on that right-hand side. Xhaka doing the extra work on that left-hand side for Switzerland as Rodriguez moves more central. We are just going to have a moment while VAR checks for a potential handball when the effort was brought in onto the favoured left foot from Abisha. I think the replay's just shown me there. It was clearly off the chest. No handball to be given. We are going to have a throw-in on the right-hand side for Hungary. Thrown deep into the area. Kanji gets up and heads it away. It's going to be a first corner of the afternoon for Hungary. Taken out on the right-hand side. A bit of defensive work for Switzerland to do. Had much to do defensively in the opening half an hour of this game. They're just joining us. Hungary 0, Switzerland 1 is the score as Dominik Szoboszlai goes out onto the right hand side to take the out-swinging cross. Multiple options in the box. Towards the back post. Headed back in towards the area. Now brought down on the edge of the area. A free kick wanted for Switzerland for a high boot, and the free kick has been given. And it is Fabian Schär that's going to stand over the free kick. I think Xhaka just brought that down. And actually it's Granit Xhaka that's gone in with the high boot, so I'm not quite sure the referee's decision to give a free kick on this occasion, but Fabian Schär is going to be the one stood over taking it. Gets a quick 1-2 taken by Vidmer, gets the ball back. And Schär gets the ball again on the edge of the area. He's got Sommer alongside him. The ball forward for Ricardo Rodriguez, and he goes into the challenge with Szoboszlai, and Szoboszlai does win a free kick in a very dangerous position inside Switzerland's half at the moment. Szoboszlai stood over the ball. And again, Switzerland playing quite a high line, about 5 yards outside of the area. Looks like it's going to be a long free kick into the box. It is going to be taken. Goes in towards the back post. It's gone all the way through to the back post, where in that area is Soleil. Brings it back towards the edge of the area. His touch is too heavy. The challenge goes in from Xhaka. The cross goes in nonetheless. But Jan Sommer's there to collect the ball. Rolls it out onto the left hand side, but decides to keep the ball with himself for a bit longer, just slow things down again for Switzerland while they have a moment out of possession. Hungary just trying to create some sort of offence themselves. Sommer rolls it out to Xhaka, gets the ball back, pass now to Akanji, takes it to the outside of the area. Akanji dribbles this inside, closed down eventually by Varga, gives the ball to Vidmer. Vidmer's searching ball down that right hand side. Excellent run has been made there by Abisha, but the challenge goes in from Soleil and put out of play for a throw-in for Switzerland. Just inside Hungary's half, but the throw-in taken by Vidmer goes to Schär just inside his own half. Switches play onto the left-hand side now for Rodriguez, who's in space. Now onto the left-hand side for Vargas. Vargas goes back central again. Now to Akanji. Akanji's got Schär alongside him. Hungary with 11 players behind the ball at the moment. Now it's to Akanji. Back to Schär again on that right-hand side. Granit Xhaka comes short for the ball, passes it inside to Abisha. Onto the right-hand side now for Vargas. Vargas is ball into the box, cleared by Orban before it can get through to Dua. It's going to be a throw-in, just kept him from being a throw-in, in fact, by Fabian Schär. We're going to watch that out of play, but with no Hungary players beside him, thought it was best to keep possession with his side as Akanji passes it back out to Schär again. Chip ball down the line, he's going to be chased down, but it's also going to be chased down by Soleil, who's going to try and shield the ball out of play for a goal kick. The ball doesn't quite have enough on it, and he's forced to put it out of play for a throw-in from just outside of the area. Again on the right-hand side for Switzerland. Coming across to take it as players are making their way into the box. Vargas just lurking on the edge at the moment. And taken by Vidmer. Vargas coming short for the ball now. Quick 1-2 played as it's back again with Vidmer on the right hand side. Looks for Vargas, tries to beat his man, gains a throw 5 yards further forward. Now equal with inside of the goalkeeper's area. chance for Switzerland to double their advantage. Widmer's pass to Vargas. He fails on the first initial pass back, but manages to keep possession. Widmer goes in for the challenge this time, out of play by Kerkez, and it's going to be another throw-in to Switzerland, almost by the corner flag this time. Widmer again with the ball. Now it's Dua that's come across to help out as an option, as Ndoye comes and stands by the touchline. It looks like this throwing could very much be making its way into the area. No one closer than the edge of the area towards Widmer. It goes in towards the penalty area, headed away by Orban. Back in the direction of Widmer, brought down this time by Abischer. Goes across to Akanji. Abischer back on the right hand side. Pass from Freuler. Down to Akanji again. Rodriguez alongside him. Bypasses him and passes it on to the left hand side. Again now Rodriguez gets the ball back inside his own half. Across to Akanji. And that's the possession that Switzerland have been playing. It's been very patient. They had a throw in a very dangerous position, and it's led to them now making the ball back into their own half. But now they make their way into Hungary's half with a pass onto the right hand side. Dua is an option. Vargas is another option. Vargas gets there first. It then gets through to Dua, who tries to flick the ball on. Looks like there may have been a handball in there from Hungary, but nothing's been given by the referee. Now with Widmer on the right hand side. Cross headed away by Orban. Headed further away by Kerkez on the edge of the area with Xhaka. Back onto the right hand side for Widmer this time. He plays the ball back to Freuler. Now back to Xhaka. Freuler continues his run. It's moved the player away from Widmer, taking attention away from right wing back at the moment for Switzerland as this chip ball goes over. And it's chased down on the right hand side, dribbled into the area, this time brought back, but Dua can't quite get there at the 6-yard box, and it's been cleared again by Orban. And a lot of defensive work for Hungary at the moment. Widmer takes the throw in on the right hand side, gets it back. This ball through is not matched with the intentions of any Switzerland players, and this time it's going to be a goal kick to Hungary, and Galaxy will just slow things down. It does look like it's actually come off the arm of Adam Lang on its way through before it's eventually been cleared by Fiola. Ndoye on that right hand side for Switzerland, causing all sorts of problems for Hungary's defence. He swap places now with Abischer. Forward three very much supporting Dua very well throughout the course of this first half. Short goal kick has been taken to Nagy. Switched onto the left hand side now for Zalai. It's back inside for Schaefer. Schaefer passes it to Nagy again. Nagy gets the ball back at the halfway line. Back inside onto the left hand side this time for Kerkez. Zalai gets it back just inside Hungary's half at the halfway line sort of area at the moment. Now Orban gets it, plays it across onto the right hand side, closed down quickly by Vargas, has to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. He's trying to be an option on that right hand side, but Vargas has followed him all the way through there, and the eventual clearance has been headed into the middle by Abischer and then collected. Chip ball forward to be chased down by Dominic Szoboszlai, takes it into the area. He's beaten down by a player and cleared by Fabian Schär as the cross does eventually go in. It's going to be a throw in now. He's done well with the run because it looked to me like he was in quite a bit of space offside. And I think that one was actually offside looking at the replay. But the ball didn't have enough on it and he had to hold his run back up. So he's done well to keep possession for the moment. And the throw in on the left hand side has been taken. Goes back towards the halfway line. Zalai passes inside this time for Schaefer. Now onto the left hand side for Kerkez again by the touchline. Just outside the area. Back to Zalai. And now to Schaefer. Pass inside. Zalai's going to chase it. Wants a free kick. Gets a free kick in a very dangerous position. Around about 25 yards out. A bit more on the left hand side though than maybe Hungary would have liked. A bit more central, and you could probably see free kick taker having an effort on goal here in Dominic Szoboszlai, but he's going to stand over this and maybe try and get across into the box as Orban makes his way into the area. Joined by Adam Lang as well. The only player stood over this free kick as the referee's just counting the steps out for the wall. One player in the wall for Switzerland as Sommer sets his defence up on the edge of the area. Joining him quite close now is Schaefer. And Kerkez as well. Switzerland holding this line. It's 25 yards out from goal. Maybe a little bit further out as Szoboszlai chips this in. It's free header goes goalwards, but held well by Jan Sommer. And the Switzerland goals. We enter into the final 5 minutes of regular time. in the first half of this Group A game of Euro 2024, chipped in by Szoboszlai. I think there were multiple players that would have been offside had there been a goal, and a question for VAR to answer. Sommer plays it out to Shah, now for Widmer. That's inside for Freuler, back to Widmer again, on the edge of the area. Freuler's making his run down that right hand side. Widmer plays it short this time to Abischer. He receives a push in the back as he's forced to go back towards goal. Wins a free kick around 5 yards out of the area. Jan Sommer's going to be the one that comes across to take it. Push in the back from Schaefer. Free kick's taken to Abischer. Goes back to Shah. On the pass inside to Granit Xhaka, operating as almost an extra centre half just to go in and receive the ball and work Switzerland into the opposition half, as he's done so just there. He's got Widmer alongside him as a passing option. Instead gives this to Vargas. Goes back to Fabian Schär again, just inside Switzerland's half. The run being made now by Abischer. Instead he goes towards Dua. I think that caught Dua quite off guard. I think he thought the ball was going to Abischer, who was making a well-timed run as well. It's been headed away. Szalai brought down just outside the centre circle and wins a free kick inside his own half for Hungary. And Schaefer goes across to take it. He was just holding the ball up alongside Granit Xhaka. He clips the ankles of the Hungary midfielder. Kerkez now with the ball down the left hand side. Akanji's quick to get there. It's a job to keep this in place, stop it from going out for a throw-in, but he's managed to do so. Gives the ball back to Sommer. All played and very composed football at the back at the moment for Switzerland. Granit Xhaka onto the right hand side now for Widmer. His ball's gone all the way through this time for a run down the right hand side for Vargas. He's not got too much options pushing forward from him. Dua does eventually catch up with play. Cross goes in towards the back post. There's nobody there, and nobody made Fiola aware of that as he tries to head it away. It's gone out of play for a throw in Switzerland's favour, and Abischer goes across to take it. Surprised that Fiola managed to get a touch to the ball. He needed a shout from his goalkeeper there. There's nobody in the box for Switzerland. It was a midfield error that allowed the ball to get all the way through to Vargas on the right hand side. Now Akanji gets the ball. In space inside Hungary's half at the moment. Akanji's pass forward. Dua tries to flick this ball on, but it's gone all the way through to Orban. Onto the right hand side now for Fiola. Fiola's pass inside, under pressure Schaefer. Clearance being made by Orban again. Headed on towards Varga. Holds the ball up, forced to go back into his own half. Plays it back in towards the middle of the park. Onto the left hand side now for Szalai. Into the centre circle. The pass has been made to Nagy. Nagy can keep hold of the ball. Takes it into Switzerland's half. It'd be important if Hungary can get themselves a goal just before half-time. Changes the game plan that Switzerland have had from the start of just maintaining possession. It further emphasises that Hungary have just allowed Switzerland to have that possession, and they've not really gained much from it. Only really been one clear-cut chance, and there was originally given as offside. And Szalai gets the ball back again, goes inside to Nagy. Nagy ventures further into Switzerland's half. Now about halfway between the halfway line and the edge of the area. Switches it onto the right hand side for Fiola. Pass down the line. First touch is too heavy, and Switzerland win a throw in equal with the goalkeeper's area on the left hand side as Ricardo Rodriguez was pressuring Adam Lang. Throw in is taken by Abischer. Plays it back to Ricardo Rodriguez. The channel's been cut out from giving the ball to Sommer. He's going to have to clear his lines. Down the line it goes to Dua. It's gone just too far from him, and it's headed away by Hungary, but only as far as Manuel Akanji, who brings the ball down and controls possession again. Gives it to Schär, gives it to Sommer in a very dangerous position. He was almost gifting a goal there to Hungary, but Sommer was alert and managed to clear his lines quickly. Hungary win possession back. It's only for a second. There was the challenge from Akanji. Gets it back for Switzerland again. Takes it up towards the halfway line. Akanji's pass now finds in space, and a chance for a break now for Switzerland. Through ball onto the right hand side. Here's Ndoye. Tries to bring the ball back to the edge of the area, but Dua can't get there. And this time it's been cleared by Milos Kerkez. Only as far as Fabian Schär. Brings this down onto the right hand side for Widmer. Ndoye is an option. Overlapping. Ndoye gets the ball back to Widmer again. Chipped back. Widmer's through ball. Bit of a push in the back there. I think if he'd gone down, there'd maybe have been a penalty given, but on the edge of the area, there's still a chance for Switzerland. Laid off now to Abischer. Brings it onto his right foot. Has an effort goalwards, and he's put it into the bottom corner. It won't matter whether it should have been a penalty or not. That's a wonderful finish from Abischer to curl it into the bottom corner from around about 19 yards out. Switzerland holding on to the possession in the build-up again. Hungary just can't quite clear their lines, and it's a finessed finish into the bottom corner. Galaxy can't quite get there in time, and on the stroke of half-time, Switzerland double their lead. They double the advantage as the through ball. It was a push into the back of Vargas. He didn't go down to ground. Lays this ball onto the edge of the area, gives it again to Abischer, who was closed down by Viola. Had the option of passing the ball towards the left-hand side, brought it in onto his favoured right foot, and a curled finish into the bottom corner. He's gone straight over to the bench to celebrate it, and for a side that just yesterday were told there was turmoil within the camp, they're 2-0 up against Hungary. They don't seem disjointed at all to this Switzerland side. 45 minutes gone, it's Hungary 0, Switzerland 2. And Hungary now with a mountain to climb, a side that's been worked very much defensively. Will have to change something at half-time to go up against the Switzerland side and get themselves back into it. They'll need something straight from the off, unless they can get something with the final minute of the 2 minutes added on before half-time. They desperately need something to keep the hopes of at least a point alive. Chip ball forward now onto the left-hand side for Kirkes. Goes in to win the header. Goes up into a challenge with Akanji. It's watched out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick to Switzerland. I think Sommer will just take his time holding on to possession. It's the line making the run down the left-hand side, battling up against Fabian Schär. Took on the shirt from Schär as well. And the interest from Salai seemed more in the fact that his shirt was being tugged instead of trying to keep the ball in play. And that's what led to Switzerland getting the goal kick. And with around about 6 seconds of the 2 minutes left, expect the whistle to be blown for half-time imminently, as Jan Sommer takes this goal kick and brings things to a close at half-time at the Rhein Energy Stadion here in Cologne. It's been disaster in the first 45 for Hungary, but with a hill to climb, it promises an entertaining second 45 to this second game in Group A of Euro 2024. We go in at half-time, Hungary 0, Welcome back to second half coverage of the second Group A game in Euro 2024, where Hungary trails Switzerland by 2-0. where Hungary are trailing Switzerland by 2-0, heading into the second half. It does put Switzerland up into second place in the group stage and keeps the pressure on Germany a bit. For Hungary, it's a case of looking towards potentially a third placed visit through to the knockout stages of Euro 2024. Just looking to see if there's any changes set to be made. Thank you very much for choosing Flashscore for your coverage of Euro 2024, and of course the Copa America that starts next weekend. And let's not forget, later on this evening we've got Spain against Croatia and Italy against Albania as Euro 2024 continues on. One change is being made, and it is being made by Hungary, and it is Bendiguz Bola that is coming onto the field, as it is Switzerland that will get things underway for us to kick things off this second half. Now kicking off on left to right in all red on the whistle of Slavko Vincic, the referee for today's game. No changes have been made for Switzerland, who have very much been in the ascendancy for the majority of this game, and the ball is played straight back to Ricardo Rodriguez, whose long ball forward has been headed away. In the second attempt it's gone all the way through to Galaxy, who slows things down. It's important to get an early goal into the second half for Hungary, just to try and all that sort of nerves that they've had throughout the course of the first half. When they conceded the first goal, they seemed to struggle to keep any sort of composure at the back. It was just a case of panicking and getting rid of the ball, and it opened up a lot of possession for Switzerland, allowed them to just control things a bit easier. Now the pass goes all the way through to Jan Sommer, passes it out to Manuel Akanji just inside the area, back to Sommer again just outside the 6-yard box, closed down quickly, long ball forward, goes again in the direction of Dua, headed away this time on the left hand side by Zalai. Kirkes is going to close this down, and it's kicked away in the end by Fabian Schär and headed out of play. Switzerland now going to have a throw in on the right hand side. The change for Hungary was on the right hand side. Bendiguz Bola comes on and Adam Lang leaves the field. That was the half time substitute. It's Adam Lang that's left the field. It's the only change that has been made so far, but the throw in at the moment on the right hand side with Switzerland is to be taken by Widmer, already on a yellow card in this game. Just seems to be a cycle of Switzerland players running around at the moment, and neither's getting the ball from him. In the end, the throw-in has been taken. It's going to be chased down by Ndoye. Just keeps this in play onto the edge of the area. The effort's been blocked first of all, and Hungary will then clear the lines onto the left-hand side with Szoboszlai and a chance to break. Szoboszlai tries to beat Fabian Schär, but it's shepherded out of play by the Newcastle centre-back. A free kick's going to be given, I think, to Hungary first. It was just about to be watched out of play, in fact, by Zalai, but it was worked well by Ndoye on that right hand side to get the ball before it went out of play, and managed to keep it in, trying to bring the ball back to Dua, who's already got himself on the score sheet today. The effort was blocked well by Orban. Switzerland get the ball back on the left hand side now. Behind the touchline, the pass is made inside onto the area. It's now with Dua. Effort's been saved well, low and hard by Galaxy. He's turned it behind for a corner. First corner of the second half, in what we thought was going to be a case of Hungary really needed to come out of the gates firing in this second half. It's been a completely different situation, and Switzerland just seem to have gone from strength to strength. An excellent pass there from Granit Xhaka, and Dua aiming for the bottom corner. Galaxy's done well to push that around, and Vargas has gone across to take the corner. It's going to be an in-swinging corner. He's making the way into the box now. Manuel Akanji and Fabian Schär, two players clinical in these situations, lurking on the edge of the area at the moment. We've got both Freuler and Rodriguez. Goes in towards the middle. It's fallen down at the penalty area, blocked by Granit Xhaka. The attempted clearance, the second attempt has been cleared by Hungary, and Ricardo Rodriguez is going to get to the ball just before it goes out of play for a throw-in. He's on the right hand side though, and using his unfamiliar right foot, has to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. He stayed out on the right hand side. A thunderbolt of a left foot as Ricardo Rodriguez, and he gets the ball caught up in his feet and wins his side a throw-in, but he really didn't feel comfortable getting rid of the ball with his right foot, and it almost gave Hungary a chance. He makes his way back onto the left hand side now, where he is more comfortable, but Szoboszlai's clearance did come off of Granit Xhaka. And is it ricocheted off Xhaka? Just looking at the replay, it actually came off of the arm of Szoboszlai, so there are arguments as to whether that could be a penalty. There are no claims from Switzerland, and VAR seems to have followed that same routine. Now Schaefer gets the ball at the halfway line, makes his way into Switzerland's half, out onto the left hand side now with Kirkes. His cross has been blocked, it's fallen back to Kirkes on the left hand side again. Goes more central this time. Schaefer gets the ball. Now passes it across to Orban. And it's Hungary's turn to have the ball. And sit camped inside Switzerland's half. It's just what they can do in that final third that seemed to elude them in the first half. As Abisha gets the ball onto the left-hand side for Soboslai. Now with Schaefer, back to Soboslai again. Dribbles the ball close to his feet. His pass originally had been blocked. His second attempt gets all the way across to Zalai at the halfway line. Inside the centre circle. Back across this time for Orban. Onto the left-hand side for Nagy. Nagy now finds in space Schaefer. Schaefer's got space to run into. Tries a threaded through ball. Kirkers on the edge of the area. Puts the ball into the box, but it's taken a deflection and falls on the edge of the area to Xhaka. Plays it across now to Rodriguez on the left-hand side. Back to Xhaka. And now Rodriguez with space to move into. Takes it up towards the halfway line for Switzerland. Plenty of space to move into. Switches on to the right-hand side. If Ndoye can get there first, but it's just been met by Galaxy, who had to rush out and be alert. It was going all the way through to Ndoye on the right-hand side. But it just goes to show that while Hungary were trying to create something, Switzerland just reminded them that they're still there at the moment. On the edge of the area now with Orban. Cross onto the left-hand side for Salai. Up towards the halfway line. Salai's chip ball forward. Into space at the moment. Excellent first touch. Takes it into the area now. Brings it back onto the edge of the area, and Soboslai sets up a shot. Wants a corner, but the flag's gone up for offside against Zalai. Just looking at the replay, his run was made too early. It is offside, and it's the right decision. One ball forward, finds his way through that excellent first touch that just takes the ball in his stride into the area. Gives it to Soboslai, who drags his shot wide. That's an awful effort from a player of that calibre. But the flag seems to have saved his blushes, and it's going to be a free kick to Switzerland from around about 10 yards outside of their area. And coming out to take it is Manuel Akanji. Takes it onto the left-hand side. He's got Rodriguez as an option. Goes back to Sommer instead, just outside his 6-yard box. Akanji gets it back and now dribbles the ball out. He's got a bit of space to move into. The centre off. He shouldn't be roaming too far forward because Levy's side slightly outnumbered at the back, but he's continuing to do so nonetheless. Gives it back to Ricardo Rodriguez on the edge of the area. Sommer is still an option inside of the area. Passes it to Granit Xhaka, who's come short for the ball. Now back to Sommer again. Now to Xhaka on the edge of the area. Passes it across to Fabian Schär, who is under pressure, forced to clear his lines quickly. Headed away this time by Zalai. Back into a dangerous area, but Schär's alert to it and clears his lines again. Headed down this time, but controlled in the middle of the park now with Vargas, and a chance to break forward at the moment for Switzerland. Out onto the right-hand side in space is Widmer. Widmer brings it back inside. Back to Xhaka again. Onto the left-hand side for Ricardo Rodriguez. Sets this up nicely. An overlapping run, though, by the touchline. Plays the pass down, and Rodriguez gets it back. Now with Xhaka coming across, and Abisha and Xhaka just holding on to the ball on that right-hand side. Eventually goes back to Manuel Akanji. Familiar with playing as a full-back himself throughout the course of this season with Manchester City, but showing just how dominant he can be as a centre-half alongside one of very similar sort of stature in Fabian Schär. They're going to throw in on the right-hand side now. Taken by Widmer, back to Schär again. And back to Fabian Schär just inside his own half. Quick pass through. Poor pass though. It's been intercepted, and a chance for a break here from Schaefer. Schär's alert to it again and gets to the ball. Makes up for his error and wins his side of throw-in on the right-hand side in front of the Hungary dugout. Bit of an unforced error by Fabian Schär, but he was quick to get back to making up for that error. Gets his side of throw-in. Hungary, a side that has been dominant throughout the course of the qualification stages, but really struggling in the actual competition itself. They struggled in Euro 2020, of course. In Group F, they finished bottom of the group despite having 2 home games in that competition, so they're a side that does struggle on the big stage. As Granit Xhaka gets the ball now onto the left-hand side again. Back inside to Granit Xhaka, inside the area, brings it back into the middle. Rodriguez has a shot, saved well down inside the 6-yard box. And Switzerland still pressing for that third goal. Feel that the confidence could do them very well, especially considering still have Germany left to play at some point, and Scotland, of course, as well. 2 sides, opposite ends of the scale, of course. As we've seen in that first game, Germany a side that's very much in form. Scotland a side that really need to put that bad performance yesterday behind them. And of course, we'll be bringing you coverage of those games here on Flash Score as well. pass made across this time to Orban. Onto the left hand side at the halfway line to Zalai. Pass further now to Salih. Goes back to Orban again and across to Zalai. Into the centre circle this time. Inside Hungary's half at the moment. Pass on to the right hand side. Finds Viola. He's passed back inside. Boller's had to come short for it. And was forced to go all the way back to Zalai again. And now Hungary, who were starting to make some sort of progress into Switzerland's half, are forced back into their own half and have their own slight struggle at the moment. There's a chance on the right hand side, but an excellent chance comes in for Rodriguez, who looked like he'd maybe been caught out of position for a moment, but knew exactly what he was doing. The experience of Ricardo Rodriguez, of course, with AC Milan, and performance he's been putting in this season with Torino, shows just how versatile he can be. Part of a back three setup now with Szoboszlai on the left hand side, taking the ball into Switzerland's half, brings it back, pass back inside once again, this time to Nagy. Goes all the way back to Zalai. And now to Schaefer. Schaefer finds the ball onto the left hand side for Zalai again by the touchline. Zalai brings it in. He's been closed down well though, and he's been brought down just on the edge of the area, and he's won his side a free kick in a very dangerous position. And for a side that scored more goals from set pieces in the entirety of the European qualification stages, in a very dangerous position, they've got a chance to put all that practice into motion on the big stage as Ndoye brings him down on the edge of the area. And stood over it again is Dominik Szoboszlai. Entering into a new era, of course, with Liverpool after the departure of Jurgen Klopp at the end of last season. Szoboszlai stood over the free kick. Ndoye and Vargas just been forced a couple of yards back to behind the line for the 10-yard marker from the referee. Making their way into the boxes, Orban at the moment. Still a high line played for Switzerland at the moment. The majority in line with the wall, actually. And just on the edge of the area, there's a couple of plays for Hungary lurking as well. Referee just making it clear inside of the area. He wants no pushing or shoving and grabbing hold of players. There's been some interaction from the referee already, and he's doing the same again after a couple of collisions that were taking place in the build-up to corners. We've got another situation with the free kicks, but Szoboszlai prepares now to take the free kick, sends it in towards the middle, headed away at the near post, and the first chance from Fabian Schär. And you've got to at least beat the tallest player on the field if you're going to make something count from your free kicks. But it's the second corner of the afternoon now for Hungary, and Szoboszlai goes across to take it. It's an in-swinging corner just alongside the Switzerland fans at the moment. Plays it short to Kirkes, back onto the edge of the area now. And with Zalai, plays it back to Szoboszlai onto the left hand side, but I don't think he expected the ball getting past Vidmar. Vidmar went in for the challenge, missed the ball completely, and it ricocheted off the inside of the ankles for Szoboszlai, and it's a throw in again for Switzerland on the right hand side, equal with their area at the moment. Still need to get themselves out of trouble, but when they've been on the back foot, Switzerland have remained very composed and worked their way out from the back very nicely. Vidmar just looking for options down the line. There aren't too many supporting him. Eventually goes up towards the middle, led on by Dua, brought down well by Vargas. Now to Ndoye. Vargas was making his way through, but it's been intercepted in momentum by Orban, who goes onto the right hand side now with Boller, gets the ball back from him. Pass forward, misses out on the midfield, and a free kick's been won for Hungary just inside their own half. A little bit of a push from Ricardo Rodriguez onto the back of Varga, who was coming short for the ball. Free kick taken. It's a very poor pass. It's gifted possession to Ndoye, and a chance for Switzerland to break now as Ndoye on the right hand side. He's got an eventual overlapping run. He chooses to go himself, and just on the edge of the area his effort sails over, and it's going to be a goal kick to Hungary. That's an awful free kick that's been taken by Boller. Just in space, there was plenty of space for the ball to be brought down by Ndoye and make his way onto the edge of the area. The gap opened up for him, but he leant back a bit too early and gave away a goal kick. And taken short by Galazzi. Headed on down the right hand side, and Ricardo Rodriguez goes in for another challenge. Nothing's been given as a free kick. There's a player down at the moment for Hungary, but they opt to play on. In for the challenge this time goes Zalai. Lines have been cleared, and it's gone all the way through as they want another free kick in the middle of the park. The referee this time giving nothing again. Switzerland this time wanting a free kick after Kirkes goes in for a challenge. But it's now with Dominik Szoboszlai. Quick 1-2. Szoboszlai continues the run. And now there's going to be a free kick. And now there's going to be a yellow card against... It's going to be Freuler that gets the yellow card. There's a couple of rash challenges going in. The referee just allowing play to continue. I think eventually there was going to need to be one with a yellow card just to stamp and keep the authority on the game from the Slovenian referee. But it's Remo Freuler that joins both Vidme in the book after first half incidents. And now Szoboszlai with another free kick. Sends it in towards the back post this time. It's been headed away by Ricardo Rodriguez. And it's going to be another corner for Hungary. While piling this pressure on at the moment with Switzerland. They've had plenty of wayward passes. They've given Switzerland a couple of chances. I think the flag's right to stay down on this occasion. There were a couple of players in that area, but the one that's gone up for the ball wasn't in an offside position. So a corner now again for Hungary, and it's another in-swinger to be taken by Szoboszlai. Again, players making their way forward, both Orban and Zalai. It's going to go out of play for goal kick. That's going to be taken by Sommer. And equal with the penalty area. Sommer's taken this upfield. Headed away. Towards Akanji again. Headed down this time. Brought down by Granit Xhaka. Xhaka under pressure. Plays a quick 1-2 with Freuler. And Xhaka gets the ball back. Gives it to Ricardo Rodriguez. On that left hand side, Rodriguez looks for the pass down the line. It's an up ball through for Dua, who flicks it on to be chased down by Ndoi, but quick to get to the ball is Orban. Just cuts out the chance for Switzerland again. Up forward three at the moment. Vargas, Ndoi and Dua are really, really utilising this nervy Hungary defence. There's another goal in it somewhere here for Switzerland. Pass out onto the left hand side now for Salai. Goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Galaxy just inside the area at the moment. Galaxy passes this onto the edge of the area. Coming short for the ball is Schaefer. Schaefer hasn't got too many options to move forward with the ball for. Might have to go back before he can go forward, and he has had to do so on this occasion. Going back to Orban just outside the area. Takes it up towards the halfway line. Orban eventually is closed down by Dua. So he's tried the long ball forward. It's taken an unfortunate bounce, and there's a slip there for Rodriguez, and it's all the way through. Now the flag's gone up for offside. But that's a chance that's gone begging for Hungary, and they'll not want too many of those to fall in Hungary's favour, will Switzerland, as Ricardo Rodriguez did slip. It's right, he was offside. But Rodriguez, who's just lost his footing on the edge of the area, he wants a free kick for it. I don't see any sort of collision that's taken place there from Varga. No, I think if anything, Rodriguez has caught his own ankles and gone over. A free kick is given to Switzerland for offside, but that's a chance that Switzerland really won't want to give them again. Varga did put the ball over the bar anyway. And Akanji now with the free kick from just outside the halfway line. And from an offside position, that should tell you all you need to know about just how high this Switzerland defensive line is at the moment. They're trying to force these balls over the top for Hungary, but whilst they're doing so, it's catching them in offside positions, and it's making things difficult for Hungary to really get something in the opposition half. As the long ball onto the right hand side, and Doi's gone up for the challenge now, and Vidma's gone in with the high boot on Kirkes. He's caught the ball just above the eye of the Bournemouth fullback, and the free kick's been given to Hungary. Taken short, now switched out onto the right hand side. A chance now for Hungary to break in space. Played over onto the left hand side. First touch by Szoboszlai brings it back. About 25 yards out at the moment. Passes it onto the left hand side for Salai. Cross goes in towards the middle. Headed goalwards and just wide. And that's the best chance that Varga's going to get so far. Just after the hour mark. He leapt highest amongst two Switzerland defenders. Perfectly placed ball. Just couldn't quite direct it on target. Sommer wasn't able to move himself across well enough to cover that angle, and I think if it's on target, Hungary are back in this game. It's headed wide by Varga. Passed out short from the goal kick from Sommer to Akanji. To Xhaka. Switzerland working the way out from the back at the moment. Freuler now. Goes back again to Xhaka. Pass inside to Dua, inside the centre circle, but Hungary on hand this time to get possession back. Something they didn't really do in the first half. Up against Switzerland, they were allowing Dua to just dictate play a little bit too much. inside the opposition half, bring down the ball well and be able to create too many chances from it. But now there's a chance on the left-hand side with a throw-in now. Milos Kerkez takes it. We've just got a break in play at the moment as the referee's forcing Zalai away from the fullback of Switzerland. It's Widmer that's gone down, and it looks like he's got cramp as it's been worked on at the moment by Zalai. The referee has stopped his watch, but as Widmer stretched quite far to get rid of the ball at that point, and the chip ball forward from Kerkez came off of the head of Widmer, who's gone down after stretching too far. It might not actually be cramp that's happened. I'm just looking at the replay and you can see how the muscles tighten in his right leg as he has stretched quite far to get to the ball. And Switzerland will be open. This is nothing too serious, and he can just maybe stretch that off. 2 goals to the good in 65 minutes played. How much longer do you want to give him and risk any sort of injury with the remainder of the tournament on its way? We're only on the first game for both of these sides in Euro 2024. Szoboszlai takes the throw in though and throws it back to Zalai. Goes back into the middle this time for Orban. Across onto the right hand side for Boller. Just inside his own half. Passes it up towards the halfway line. Brought back deep into his own half and forced to go all the way back to his goalkeeper is Fiola on the right hand side. The heavy pressure that was put in from Switzerland forced him back. Chip ball forward this time, brought down well inside, and it's going to be chased on now by Nagy. Nagy onto the left hand side, brought down again by Zalai. He's got Szoboszlai on the left hand side further for him on the edge of the area. Szoboszlai's cross goes in towards the back post. He's got amongst his man and he's headed it in this time as Varga, and it's a goal back for Hungary. Just as Switzerland felt that maybe they could create something themselves, the ball onto the left-hand side, it's well worked in the build-up, and Szoboszlai has proved how just influential he is into any attack that Hungary are creating. The ball in towards the back post. Ricardo Rodriguez really should have been the first player there, but it's excellent work from Varga to get around his man and head the ball into the bottom corner. He missed a header just a few moments ago. Clearly that hasn't affected his confidence, and the placement of this ball from Szoboszlai to find Varga at the back post, who's down on his knees to get his head onto the ball. He's got ahead of his man. He's headed it in from around 7 yards out into the bottom corner, and the pressure is back on with Switzerland. It's Hungary 1, Switzerland 2, 66 minutes gone in this game. And Barnabas Varga proving just how clinical he can be. 2 goals against Israel in the final friendly building up. He got an assist in that game as well. He got player of the match, and he's still finding some form for Hungary now. And we are going to see another change for Hungary, maybe to add to the momentum they've just built. And we are going to see the departure of Adam Nagy, who leaves the field. And he is going to be replaced by Laszlo Kleinheisler. So Kleinheisler joins into the game, and Nagy leaves the field. And we are going to see multiple changes as well for Switzerland, maybe just to halt the momentum of Hungary at the moment. One of those is the Burnley attacker, Zeki Amdouni, who joins the game. In fact, they've just said that they're going to wait a moment just to see what actually moves on from here. And Switzerland will try now and create something. The ball forward this time in search of Ndoye, and the flag goes up for offside, and now we'll see those changes. And Amdouni is going to come onto the field, and he's going to replace Dua, who has run tirelessly in and throughout that first half and deserves a bit of a rest. And his plaudits, of course, for scoring himself the first of Switzerland's 2 goals. The other one is going to be Widmer, who has just stretched himself quite far out and maybe caused a bit of damage that he could have done without. Hopefully it'll be nothing too serious that we'll see an injury for the remainder, but it does mean he's going to need to leave the game. And Leonidas Sturgiu is going to be on in his place. It's going to be a like-for-like change there, and some fresh legs in attack with Zeki Amdouni. Very energetic, and could cause still some issues for this Hungarian defence. We enter in towards the final 20 minutes of this game. Hungary 1, Switzerland 2. And the free kick is taken by Hungary. Orban gets the ball back. Goes back across to Zalai again on the left-hand side, up towards halfway. And Zalai passes it further forward, coming short for the ball just for the moment, was Schaefer. Gives it to Soboslai, who's been dispossessed on that right-hand side. And now a free kick's been given just in front of the dugout. And Zalai may receive a yellow card himself. He is. It was very clinical, that foul. It was maybe a bit more tactical than anything. But Zalai, as the ball was being pushed past him by Ndoye on that right-hand side, just threw his shoulder into the back and gets himself a yellow card for his troubles. And a free kick, as he was starting to make a break, was Ndoye at that point. But Attila Zalai gets a yellow card and moves back into his position as the referee just replaces the ball for the free kick. It's going to be Vargas that comes across to take it on the right-hand side from just inside Hungary's half, in front of the Switzerland bench as well. Switzerland supporters behind the Hungarian goal, celebrating in numbers, enjoying the occasion for them. Cross goes in towards the middle, headed away. Only as far as the edge of the area. Still possession at the moment with Switzerland. Making his space is Granit Xhaka, but instead he goes towards Ricardo Rodriguez at the halfway line. Rodriguez chips the ball forward again in space this time. Inside pass blocked out by Orban. Line has been cleared and eventually cleared further by Boller. Out of play for a throw. And as the Switzerland supporters are enjoying the occasion, there's plenty of reasons to do so. They are one of only 2 nations to reach the knockout stages in each of the last 5 major tournaments. The other, France. Throwing taken down the line. Cleared by Boller. Upfield, headed more central to be chased by Kleinheisler. But it's fallen at the feet of Granit Xhaka, who has got a bit of space to move into. Plays the through ball on the left-hand side. Chased down by Ndoye. Flag stays down for now. Takes it into the area. Onto his right foot. Effort's deflected out of play for a corner. It's going to be another corner for Switzerland, as they now need that extra insurance goal. Through ball, and Ndoye just beats his man way too easily on that left-hand side. Then brings it inside onto his favoured right foot. It's Sturgiu that's managed to get back and support there, but the effort goes in from Orban, who got a deflection to push that over the crossbar. And Vargas, who's wanted some urgency from somebody on the sideline to get him a ball so he can take the corner. It's going to be an in-swinging corner. Once again, everybody back for Hungary. A couple lurking on the edge of the area for Switzerland. Ricardo Rodriguez is one of those as Vargas prepares for an in-swinging corner. Going short is Ndoye. Only one player, and that's Amdouni, that's inside the 6-yard box, putting any sort of pressure on Galaxy. In-swinging corner comes in. It goes in towards the middle. It's headed goalwards by Shah, and just wide. It's going to be a goal kick now for Hungary. And Fabian Shah finding himself in an all too familiar position in the opposition 18-yard box for these set pieces. Good battle going on at that point as well. He wins the header. Hits it just wide. As we do prepare for another change to be made by Switzerland, the goal kick is taken short by Schaefer. There is an option on the left-hand side still. He gets the ball back just outside the area and starts to make his way upfield, up towards the halfway line. Chip ball onto the left-hand side, chased down now by Salai. Flick the ball on. Kirkes' cross goes in towards the middle, but it's well held by Sommer inside the 6-yard box. A slide was coming in at the back post by Varga, hoping to add to his tally. But Sommer does well to get to that inside the 6-yard box first. He can't let the ball move away from him at all, for the risk of Hungary getting themselves an equalising goal. Switzerland now on the left-hand side. Tries to beat his man. Can't quite get there ahead of Boller, who goes all the way back in the end to Galaxy. Passes now onto the right-hand side for Boller again. Nice quick pass between him and Kleinheisler. And the long ball forward, broken out by Freuler, who gets there just ahead of his man again. And wins his side throw-in. And now we will see this third change by Switzerland. And it is going to be the departure of Ruben Vargas, who leaves the game. And in his place we are going to see the introduction of Breel Embolo into this fixture. So Ruben Vargas puts an end to his 2 assists in 2 games for Switzerland in the final friendlies heading into this tournament. It's an end to that streak, but he'll be happy to do so, if only it means his side are going to walk away with 3 points from this fixture. Ricardo Rodriguez goes straight into the challenge from the throw-in. Wins a throw-in for his side. It's taken short. Now back to Fabian Schär. Goes all the way back to his goalkeeper just inside the area. First touch by Sommer. Back onto the left-hand side again by Rodriguez. Rodriguez by the touchline. Chip ball forward again, this time in the direction of Amdouni. He chests the ball down, but his side's been dispossessed, and it's back onto the right-hand side now. In space is Boller. Goes back to Orban again, back to his goalkeeper inside his area. And now in numbers, Switzerland will move out. Amdouni leading the attack alongside Embolo. Brought down this time in the middle of the park by Freuler. He goes back to Rodriguez. Freuler gets the ball back from him. Rodriguez just manages to keep it in play, and it's an excellent ball to be chased down this time. Goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Takes an unfortunate bounce. I think it's caught his shin as he's cleared his lines. And the header away in the middle of the park gives another chance now to Switzerland on the right-hand side. Brought down now by Embolo. Passes it to Amdouni on the edge of the area. Looks back for Embolo. Amdouni makes his way forward, and it's out by Galaxy, who slides down at the legs of Amdouni and gets to the ball first, just outside his 6-yard box. Just slows things down for his Hungary side, who are up against it now defensively again. This extra energy that's been added by both Amdouni and Embolo, keeping this Hungarian defence on their toes. Hungary tried to clear the lines once again. One back in the middle of the park on the left-hand side by Sturgio. Sturgio's ball into the path of Amdouni, who goes down under the challenge this time, and there's a chance for Hungary to clear their lines. Trying to take their time and remain composed with it, but the high press from Switzerland isn't really allowing them to make their way out from the back at all. Pass back onto the right-hand side this time for Boller. Now to Orban. Back inside the area. Galaxy's pass onto the left-hand side for Zalai. Zalai's got space to move into. Gives it to Milos Kerkez by the touchline. Kerkez's long ball forward is going to be chased down, but there's way too much on that. It's gone all the way through to Sommer, who brings it down by his chest. Just holds on to possession for a moment. Passes it out to Granit Xhaka, who's got space to turn up to towards the halfway line. Takes it into the centre circle. Xhaka continues with the ball. Passes it sideways this time to Freuler, who gives it back to Xhaka. Now inside the half of Hungary. His pass is quite weak and it's been intercepted. Now onto the left-hand side for Kerkez. Kerkez has space to move into. Takes it into Switzerland's half. Just on the edge of the area now. Kerkez's cross goes in towards the back post. Headed away this time by Rodriguez. Only as far as the edge of the area, and it's Hungary still in the ascendancy. Onto the right-hand side. Pass onto the edge of the area. Lines up a shot at the moment. Does Kleineister. It's been blocked. Back onto the right-hand side. Cross goes in towards Soboslai. Goes all the way through to Milos Kerkez, who gets there on the left-hand side. Goes down under the challenge, wants a free kick. Nothing's been given. He's brought Ndoye down. He's held on to the legs, and a free kick's been given in Switzerland's favour. I think that's the right decision. I think on that left-hand side, Kerkez has gone down way too easily. I think it's one of those tactical decisions where you get your back to the player, you shield the ball, and you just go down and expect a free kick. But as he's gone down, Ndoye's then still there alongside him, and he's just held on to the leg of the Switzerland winger. And ultimately the decision is that it's going to be a free kick to Switzerland, and rightly so. As Hungary have another substitution in preparation, but they're going to have to wait to make that change. The Sommer from just outside his area takes the free kick, boots it straight upfield in the direction of Amdouni. Headed down now onto the right-hand side. It's with Sturgiu, and the free kick has quite a delay, but it has been given in favour of Hungary for an offside. Of course, the flag can't go up until play has come to a halt, in case there is a goal scored on the back of it, and we could say that after evidence of the first goal. Of course, the flag went up after the goal had been scored. VAR said that it was actually a valid goal, and that is the goal that separates the two sides at the moment. Ball onto the right hand side now, just outside the area. Brought down well by Boller, brings it inside. Kleineister, back to Boller. Cross goes in towards the middle, headed away by Fabian Schär again, only as far as the edge of the area, but it's been brought down by Embolo. Laid off to Xhaka. Now Ndoye gets the ball. Ball forward to Embolo's a bit too heavy, and it's gone all the way through and collected by Zalai. Passes it across now to Orban. Orban's pass forward to the halfway line. Gets the ball back, but he's waited for the ball to get to him, and it's actually invited a lot of pressure from Switzerland. He's managed to get it from under his feet now, but it doesn't help his side's defensive struggles throughout the course of this game. And now Ricardo Rodriguez goes into the challenge with Schaefer and wins his side Well, he thought he'd won his side of throw-in. The linesman's given this in favour of Hungary. And it is going to be a throw-in on the right-hand side for Hungary. And we are now going to see another 2 changes for Hungary. One of which is Milos Kerkez leaving the game. And he's going to be replaced by Martin Adam. And the second change is going to be Atiya Salai, who leaves the game. And he is going to be replaced by Marton Dardé. So those are your next 2 changes from Hungary. So Salai and Kerkez off, Dardé and Adam on. That's out now from the back from Galaxy. So onto the right hand side where Dardé currently is. Dardé is going to make his way over towards the left hand side, and I assume fill in for where Salai was. Dardé gets the ball back, goes back to his goalkeeper. Pressure comes in quickly. And the pressure has forced the clearance out from Galaxy. Out onto the right hand side. And now we've got another injury worry, this time for Fabian Schär, who's gone up for the challenge. He's holding his calf as he's down on the floor. The referee has called for the physio on. We're going to have a look at the replay as Schär's gone up for the ball. It looks like he might have done something on the landing. There's been no collision between him and Adam. No free kick and not warranted. I think it's just the landing and how he's landed. He's done his calf in ever so slightly, and that's a bit more of a worry. It's always the challenges where there's no players around you that you want to be worried a little bit more about. Just looking at the Switzerland bench, any options to come in his place? They are limited, of course. They have got a smaller bench than Hungary. Denny Zakaria, the one that couldn't make it into the game today. Fabian Schär is helped back to his feet, and he has left the field, and the physio has gone and sat back down as Fabian Schär will wait for the referee's confirmation that he can rejoin the game. But for the moment, Switzerland are down to 10 players, and is this a chance now for Hungary to make that count? As Adam gets the ball on the left hand side, cross goes in towards the middle, it's been headed away. Akanji will try and head it further away from the edge of the area. Adam then gets to the ball again, lays the ball down for Schaefer. Schaefer gets the ball on the edge of the area. It's been brought back down by Zalai. Zalai beats his man on that left hand side. Cross goes in towards the middle. It's been headed up by Rodriguez. Still work to do though at the 6-yard box. It's gone all the way through, and Zamduni will try and clear his lines. On the edge of the area, still a chance at the moment for Hungary. A challenge goes in from Rodriguez this time to clear his lines. Back up towards the halfway line. Galaxi's way out of his area to get to the ball first. Tries to keep his side in the ascendancy. Switzerland back to 10 players. Through ball's going to be chased down. Schär's going to get there first and clear his lines. It's out of play. It's not actually out of play. It's been kept in play on this right-hand side by Mbolo, who goes central with the ball, keeps on to possession. Plays the ball down the right-hand side for Ndoye, who is under pressure. Tries to beat his man. Manages to get the better of him on the right-hand side against Soboslai. Passes it back inside this time for Mbolo. Looked like a break for Switzerland was very much on, but they've just slowed things down, giving it back to Rodriguez at the halfway line. Rodriguez still inside his own half, gives it across to Akanji now. Inside the centre circle, Granit Xhaka gets the ball, plays it across to Ricardo Rodriguez again. He has got that through ball run being made by Amdouni. Instead, opts to play the ball across further onto the left for Abisha. Now it's back to Akanji again, into the final 10 minutes of this game. Ricardo Rodriguez switches it across now, in space, first touch from Ndoye, his second one goes just wide. I think it's going to be a corner. It's a wonderful tackle that's been put in there by the substitute Marton Dardé, who had to get there. That first touch from Ndoye sets it up very nicely from him, and I think it's actually caught the outside of his foot. It's going to be a goal kick, and that's the right decision. But the argument is there for Dardé that he feels that it should definitely have been a goal kick, while Switzerland were saying they wanted a corner. It's a missed opportunity for Switzerland in the end, and one that while Hungary are trying to move on in confidence, they don't really want to see go begging. As now Schaefer gets the ball, goes central with it. On the left hand side there still is an option of Varga, spreads it onto the right hand side, cross goes in towards the middle towards Adam, but it's headed away by Akanji. Back onto the right hand side again, tries to beat his man, but the challenge goes in, and it's a throw in on the right hand side that's going to be taken this time. Akanji's got his work cut out from him now. Martin Adam of course coming onto the field, known as a target man, very good in the air. Player that Akanji and of course Fabian Schär will have a job going up against us. He's moved into more of a central role. It's moved into more of an attacking two now. Varga has stayed up there as an option as well. As Hungary just take the ball back into their own half. They're playing patiently with it. A point at this stage for either of these sides still opens the door for any future games, of course. 4 points would likely be more than enough, considering the strength of some of these groups, to get you through. Remember, 4 of the best third place teams will qualify from the group stages, as well as the top 2 from each group. So there is a chance that both of these sides could be joining Germany in the knockout stages of Euro 2024. Free kick is in favour of Switzerland by the touchline at the moment. As Ndoye just get back up to his feet. Still substitute options available for Switzerland should they choose to use them. 84 minutes played. We're entering into the final 5 minutes, and the atmosphere is really being grabbed at the moment by the Switzerland supporters. His pass upfield goes to Embolo. He's gone down under a challenge. Referee gives nothing. There's still a player down on the right hand side. I think it is Ndoye, who's only recently got back to his feet just a moment ago before that free kick was taken, as Embolo plays it onto the right hand side. And now Switzerland will put the ball out of play as Ndoye is down. And I think this might signal the end of his game, as we do have substitutes all ready to come on. And I think the idea is that Ndoye leaves the field now. He is going to do so. Just looking at the subs that are going to come on, Ardon Jashurai is one of those. He's going to come on. In fact, he's not. It's Fabian Ryder that's going to come on in his place. So Fabian Ryder is going to come on in his place. That's one of the 2 changes that have been made. Of course, Stan Ndoye, great shifting on that right-hand side. He's played on the left to begin with at points as well. And the second one is Remo Freuler, already on a yellow card, of course, entering into the final few minutes, and he's being replaced by number 16 Vincent Sierro. So all changes made from both of these sides as we enter into the final 5 minutes of the game, and it's a free kick now for Hungary on the left hand side. The throw-in that was taken as a result of the ball being put out of play was given back to Switzerland, but the ball upfield was caught offside. And Soboslai is inside his own half by a good 10 yards, ready to take this free kick. Switches it out onto the right hand side. Put back into the box towards Adam, lays it off onto the edge of the area, tries to chip the ball further forward into the area. It's now fallen at the back post for Zalai, but the header's won by Shah, who will just keep this in play. Puts it out of play for a throw-in, but considering the alternative was to put it out of play for a corner, I think defensively Switzerland will be happy with that. The throw-in is taken quickly though by Soboslai. Pass goes across. Back onto the left-hand side now for Dardé. Darde's cross goes into the middle, headed down by Adam. Brought down on the edge of the area for Soboslai. Tries to fire up a shot, but the challenge goes in. And now Switzerland have a chance to break on the left-hand side. Big break and a big chance now for Switzerland as it's been brought inside. There's multiple players further forward. Running all the way through. The referee has stopped it. He's given a free kick now to Switzerland. This is controversial. Now, a free kick's been given to Switzerland just outside of the halfway line, the centre circle, if you will, inside Hungary's half. But the pass that was made from Amdouni, now if Embolo got to the ball, he's offside. But Embolo is deliberately stopped and left the ball to go. It was going all the way through to Ryder making the run on the right-hand side. And we're now going to see a yellow card to somebody on the Switzerland bench because the referee pulled it back for a free kick. And the frustration is Switzerland were through on goal at that point. So Ryder was making his way through. He only had the goalkeeper to beat, and that could have sealed things for this game. But Fiola's challenge has maybe saved his side from conceding a third goal at this point. A yellow card has been given to the Switzerland referee, Murat Yakin. And a yellow card has also been given to Fiola. Attia Fiola of Hungary. Well, that's controversial, and that will raise some questions. The referee didn't even entertain the idea of the disappointment and frustration from Switzerland as they've now gained a free kick 5 yards further forward, but he's through on goal in Euro 2024, searching for a goal that seals the fate of Hungary in the opening game. And now a free kick on the left hand side. We enter into the final 2 minutes. We've certainly got a talking point from this game as it's passed out now to Ricardo Rodriguez. Passes the ball over to Sierra. Back in towards the middle. Effort's been blocked. It's going to be watched out of play for a corner, and now it's a corner for Switzerland on the right hand side. I think right now they're just happy to bide the time, wait for the full time whistle to come, and take all 3 points. I don't think either of these sides have seen or done enough in this game to really show me that they could worry the host nation in Germany. I think both sides have shown enough that they could maybe take a strong 3 points against Scotland when those fixtures do come up. In swinging corner on its way on the left hand side. Goes in towards the near post. It's been headed in towards the near post, and it's been punched out in the end by Galaxy. Wonderful header at the near post. Galaxy had to adjust very quickly. He'd come out to try and claim the ball, but the header on, I think it's taken a deflection on its way through, and Galaxy, who got his hands to it the first time, then had to use his feet to put the ball out of play for another corner before any Swiss players could get there and capitalise on the fact that he was on the ground. A 6th corner now for Switzerland. They could really be playing this short and just holding on to things, but they're putting the ball into the box, aiming for another one. This time it's not to be the first man. Lines have been cleared. Akanji gets to it first, puts it back into Hungary's half. It's out of play for a throw-in just beside the corner flag, and Saleh just drops the ball. It's going to be a throw-in taken instead, as we wait to see just how much extra time is going to be added on. Dardé takes the throw in as we are into 5 minutes of added time. Just kept in play on the right hand side. Now at the moment they're just happy to try and waste a bit more time. Bola goes across to take the throw-in. Throws it short. Still inside Switzerland's half at the moment. It's been won back, and there's a chance now for Switzerland to break. And they're breaking at pace. It's with Bola at the moment. Through ball's been chased through. Here's a chance here to make it 3-1. He's taken it quite wide. He's taken it too wide. It's been cleared off the line. Oh my word. A chance for Switzerland to put the game to bed. And it's come from Abisher, who could have got his second. A wonderful run from him. He was clearly onside. He's rounded the goalkeeper, but he's taken it too far wide. The goalkeeper's wiped out the only other defender that was around him, but as he's played it back across, Dardé's got back onto the line and cleared his lines, and that could have been game, set and match at that point. But it's not. As it stands, Hungary 1, Switzerland 2, and that's a missed opportunity that if Hungary do get themselves an equalising goal before the full-time whistle goes here, Switzerland will feel that's a very missed opportunity. 1.5 minutes gone in extra time. Akanji gets to the ball first at the halfway line. His chip ball forward. Plenty of players committed forward at the moment for Hungary. It's leaving them few back at the back. It's allowing Switzerland to maybe create these chances. But now there's a chance on the left-hand side for Hungary to break as Schaefer gets the ball. Pass inside now to Kleinheister. Tries the overhead kick, misses the ball entirely. And it's just kept in play by Fabian Schär. And a free kick, it's been pulled back for a free kick that Soboslai is going to take from just inside his own half. It's allowing a lot of players to get forward deep into Switzerland territory, but that high line again, they're a good 10-15 yards out of the edge of their area as Hungary prepare for that ball into the box. It goes in towards Adam. He can't quite get there first, and it's gone all the way through to Jan Sommer. He just holds on to the ball inside the 6-yard box. Moves the ball out to the area. Just waits a couple of more seconds. Takes a bit more time off the clock. Long ball forward in search of Embolo again. It's fallen to Embolo inside the area. He's chipped the goalkeeper, and it's a disaster for Hungary in the final moments. It looked like it was easy to clear the lines, but Embolo has sealed all 3 points for Switzerland. Chasing that ball through, it looked like it was a lost cause after Jan Sommer punted the ball forward just to waste a little bit more time and make things a little bit tougher for this Hungarian side that in this second half have really turned the page on their first half performance. But it's a wonderful run through in the end by Embolo. Latches onto it, brings it down by his chest. Just to look at the replay, he was clearly onside. It's gone all the way through, and the header that's come from Orban has just gifted the ball to the substitute from Switzerland, and Embolo, who chips the goalkeeper. It lands just before it's dropping into the goal. He won't care. It's finished up in the goal. It's Hungary 1, Switzerland 3, and it is almost certain that the 3 points are going to Murat Yakin, and they can continue that run. They are unbeaten in the last 4 games. They can continue the run of at least 24 years of beating a Hungarian side in a competitive international fixture, courtesy of goals from Embolo, from Dua, and from Abisha. With a minute left on the clock in the opening game for both of these nations in Group A of Euro 2024, it is Hungary 1, Switzerland 3, and the despair from a Hungarian side that felt they were just getting themselves back into the game to fall to an almost certain defeat. We await them to get things back underway for us. On the whistle of Slavko Vincic, who has controlled this game from the first minute to the 95th minute. Hungary will get things back underway for us. And the referee is just signalling something to the bench. I think he's going to play a further 2 minutes, is what he's saying. I think it is 2 minutes that still won't work in Hungary's favour, as the momentum from the sails that was leading Hungary on a charge of redemption have fallen flat. And the cross goes in, it's been headed away, but there's no urgency at the moment from Hungary, and there's a chance on the right hand side now. It might not actually be over for Switzerland. Embolo now out on the right hand side, he's got options in the middle, takes it into the area, plays it across the face of goal, and it's going to be kept just in play at the back post by Granit Xhaka, who will keep the ball at the corner flag. But there was a chance for maybe a 4th goal for Switzerland, something that they could have competed on the level of what Germany did against Scotland yesterday. Embolo's ball across the face of goal was being chased in by Amdouni. The substitutes almost combined, but it's a throw-in on the left-hand side now for Switzerland by the corner flag. And Xhaka just drops the ball onto the floor to allow Abisha to go across and take it. Throws this short to Embolo. Keeps the ball by the corner flag. The challenge has been made. He wants a free kick. Nothing's been given, but the clearance only goes as far as Rodriguez, who gives the ball to Granit Xhaka. And now the ball goes back to Akanji again, takes it back towards the halfway line. He's got Fabian Schär alongside him, waits for the pressure, gives it to Schär. Schär now out onto the right hand side again, this time for the substitute Sturgiu, whose ball forward doesn't quite make it to anyone as Adam gets the ball out onto the left hand side for Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's won a throw in, throws it down the line for Adam again. Adam just keeps it in play, back to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's pass inside to Schaefer. There's nobody in the box. The one player you want in the box for any of these sort of crosses has been your support down the line, and he's very slow at getting into the box at the moment. That there really is no outlet at the moment for Hungary. They're trying to feed the ball into the area, but there's nobody there. Adam's now made his way there, but Hungary have had to go back to the halfway line. It's a side that just looks a bit disjointed at the moment. They don't look like a side that's gone unbeaten in the qualification stages of the European Championships. But game 1 is under wraps for both Hungary and for Switzerland. It is disappointment for the Hungarians, but the Swiss will go second place in Group A. It is finished from Rhein Energy Stadion here in Cologne. Hungary 1, Switzerland 3.